This is an experience I had with a bar girl recently. I am a decent looking 40-year-old man and I am usually quite switched on. After you read this, you might not think I am so wise though. I have been coming to Pattaya for a long time and in the past I have never stayed with a girl more than 3 nights nor fallen in love at all. However, this all got turned upside down this time around. I know that I have been an idiot, but I want to share this as some might relate to it or at least learn something from my stupidity. Okay, I am on a long-term trip here. I am not a 2-week millionaire at all. I go into a bar one night merely to watch some football. I see a girl sitting at the bar quietly, over 40 years old, attractive to me, but certainly not a stunner. Something just hit me there and then, a vibe I guess, as this sometimes happens in our lives. She had been in Pattaya for around 8 years, I would find out. Now I didn't even talk to her that night, and I drink with friends. I went back another night for football. We spoke, but I went into a nearby bar to watch the game as they didn't have it on. I had some beers and then later went back to talk with this girl. She was okay. We drank. She was polite, not pushy. She obviously liked me and I bar-fined her, and this was the beginning of one hell of an emotional roller coaster ride for me. In the beginning, I only bar-fined her once in a while and knew she had other customers, but it was no problem. Then as time went on, she impressed me more, minding my money, no lady drinks, good aerobics and very cheap rates. I was falling for her slowly against my better judgment, and the first time that I saw lies appear, I should have walked away. One night, I saw her drinking with a guy and she was clearly into him, and she kissed him in the bar and was bar-fined by him. She wasn't my girlfriend, but seeing that bothered me because I had developed feelings for her. Yes, I know that I am pathetic. Now via internet chat, I questioned her about the guy and she flat out denied even being there at all. Yet I was sitting in another bar watching it all unfold. And she would not admit that she was with him and tried so hard to convince me that she didn't even work there anymore. Now this was the first red flag and I should have canned it. But I so stupidly continued with her. I truly believe that once they know you will accept their lies and see them again, then from then on you are doomed. Once a liar, always a liar. Especially when it comes to bar girls. Anyway, I do my own thing for a few days and try to put her out of my mind as best as I can. I didn't contact her at all and she didn't contact me, as she never messaged me when she was with a customer. After 3 days, she finally messaged me. I have feelings for her, so I reply again. I am a very honest person and I love deeply, and when it happens, which is rare, and yes, I know again I am stupid for doing it with a bar girl I don't know that well. She wants to come back to me, and she said she didn't want to see the guy anymore as they were arguing or something, even though he offered her 20,000 baht for a month. She also said he didn't sleep with her, they just played around with aerobics, which to be honest, I didn't believe anyway. She wanted to stay a month with me for 10,000 baht. I said I didn't want to be with a bar girl full time, as I just don't do that kind of thing. At the time, I still did know better. To be honest, I didn't really believe much of what she ever said to me anyway. I didn't commit to her for a month, but saw her frequently, and the price she asked for a long time was cheap, apparently because she liked me. She didn't go back to the bar after the 3 days with the guy at the stage either, so I wasn't paying a bar fine. We were spending more and more days together, but not every day. I was slowly getting to know more about her, but how true any of it was, I will never know. I was in love, and she said she was too. Yeah, maybe another lie. But I could see she certainly did like being with me, well, at least compared to the older foreigners she was used to being with. The red flags started to appear frequently. We were not officially boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but once I questioned her about a lie and she said to me, "If you are my boyfriend, I would not lie to you," which is quite tough to hear considering I don't lie to people, whoever they are. I don't do wrong things and have nothing to hide at all. Again, I know I sound like a effing fool. One day, she went home to get some clothes to go to the beach, so I went and ran some errands. I walked past her bar and a friend of mine was there, so I stopped for a quick chat. 5 minutes later, in she walks but doesn't see me, and she goes straight to an older foreigner and sits down. She then sees me and immediately comes over to me. I ask why she is in the bar with a guy, and she says he's an old friend and he messaged her to come for a drink. Of course, she tells me she has never slept with him. Now I call BS and tell her we were going to the beach. I was hurt and she couldn't stay away from the bar, and it indicated she was still possibly on the payroll there too, or maybe freelancing. Yet she was with me daily by now. I thought we were really getting somewhere and she was happy with me. I told her to get her things from my hotel and to go with the guy if she wants to. She said she was going to message and tell me she was there, blah blah, but possibly full of BS too. Now I left it at that after she got her things from my room. The next day she messages trying to worm her way back in again and say sorry for what she did. She tells me she didn't go with him. Yeah, right. And she wants to see me. The pattern with this girl right from the start was that she wouldn't reply to messages until she woke up the next day if she was with a customer. She must have thought that I was stupid. Which I was. I took her back again and told her I wouldn't put up with any rubbish anymore. But I was already doomed, of course. There were many other times I should have gotten rid of her, but I loved her. I knew her stories didn't add up most of the time, and I have a very good memory. I think a lot of these girls lie so much that they forget what and who they tell things to. I know I am rambling on here, so here are some of the things I learned about her after being with her every day for a couple of months, and a few major incidents that I experienced. And I am sure that there are many things that she has not been honest about either. Now, if we had a mini breakup, she would often gravitate back toward the bar scene or go drinking. It's all she knows, I think. Her daughter is 26 years old and has worked in Pattaya since the age of 18. My girl followed her daughter here to work in bars too, after leaving a Thai boyfriend and a factory job. Mother and daughter worked in the same bar. I asked her if she minded seeing her daughter go with different men, and it didn't faze her at all. Her daughter has an Aussie boyfriend and a child with him. She has had a string of sponsors, has used ice and yabba before. This is the daughter. The Aussie boyfriend has just built a house in Isan for the daughter and child. He pays for everything and she contributes absolutely nothing. He now has to go back to Australia soon and work as he is almost out of money. The daughter doesn't love him and is still in love with a previous boyfriend who didn't want her anymore. My girl also had an Aussie boyfriend who was in his mid-20s. He came here for a few trips when he could. He took her to Australia twice, spent stupid amounts of money on her too. He spent lavishly, gold, stipend, etc. She doesn't see him anymore because he lost his job and has no more money to visit Thailand. Her and her Aussie guy constantly had fights, etc. One story she told me was they were at a bar, guest house, where he stayed, and they had a fight or disagreement in the room. She has the worst temper I have ever seen in a person. She ran downstairs and fell down the stairs on her bum and got bruising. The boyfriend came down and all hell broke loose. She called in family for backup and her family members threw chairs, snooker balls and anything else they could at him. He fled the scene. He had to pay for all the damages. In her crazy rage, she told him she even went to the police station and told them the bruising was from him kicking her, which was obviously a lie. But in the end, she calmed down and decided not to take it further. She also has a lot of gold pawned at the gold shop and makes regular payments to keep it there. The gold was pawned apparently because she has lost a lot of money gambling. She has by far the most childish approach to life I have ever seen. Zero morals, zero integrity, has major anger issues, and most sentences that she speaks are total lies. At times, she had been good and caring towards me, and for small money too. It's almost impossible to ever point out what she is doing wrong or a lie, because she will go into a rage and she loses all sense of logic and reasoning. She will then leave and then appear hours later saying sorry, or sometimes 2 days later, and mostly it's her fault too. If I ever question her about her phone use and other guys she talks with, she gets angry or flat out denies contact with other previous customers online. Total BS. I know. She yells extremely loud when angry in my room and doesn't care about other guests here where I stay. A lot of the arguments that we have had are due to me calling her out on her deceit and lies and her downright questionable behaviour. She has thrown numerous tantrums in my room over almost nothing, throwing things, hitting me, and even biting me. On one occasion, she went berserk because I wouldn't give in to a money demand, and she said she was going back to the bar. I said okay, but I wouldn't see her again. Later that night, she went berserk, saying I would be paying girls more money for aerobics than I pay her. She was violent, ran downstairs in only a towel, fabricated a story to security, and I had to get security to help remove her. They barely did anything to help, but instead watch. There was a standoff in the lobby. I was so embarrassed. I was asking her to leave and she tried to book a room here for the night and stay just because I asked her to leave. Afterwards, she wanted to leave anyway. Her reason is that she wanted to win. In the end, management said she could not have a room and eventually she left with a trade of abuse. F you, go and F your mother, etc. And I was totally speechless. Now the last straw for me was recently. I know between our 2-day breakup she has had the odd guy or two for money, but denies most. But comes back to me as she claims she loves me, and in her own warped way, I think she maybe does. I questioned her about some things online and pictures that she posted. I had basically had enough of the damn lies. It was during breakfast time and we were in my room. This is after I had taken her back against my better judgment, after her gambling again and being downright dishonest and secretive about various things and where she was. She was near the door in only a towel again. She got very angry at my calling her out again and went out into the hallway again and stood at the end of the hallway. And I knew that this was going to get out of control again. So I thought fast and asked her to come back inside, but she refused. I knew where this was headed for sure. I went inside my room, got her shoes and clothes and handbag and walked toward her to try to give it to her, as by then I didn't want her in my room making trouble again. Now she knew that I was serious, so she shot down the stairs toward reception in an effing towel again. I am quick on my feet and I grabbed her on the stairs before she reached reception. It was almost a good rugby tackle, but very gentle, and she fell, but I eased her onto the flat of the stairs. I was angry by now. I ripped the towel off, it was mine, gave her the bag and her clothes and told her to F off. So there she was, briefly stark naked on the stairs of my hotel. She put her clothes on and then came back to the hallway toward me, right in front of 2 security cameras and a cleaning lady. She was in a rage, started punching me, which the cleaning lady saw. So I had a witness, luckily. Then, with her fingernails, she ripped into my ear and I knew there was damage for sure. And then she got a small broom and hit me with that a few times. By then, the manager had heard the commotion and came to see us. I just said, "You need to get her out of here." My girl was saying something to her and I said, "Don't listen because she will just lie about me." So we go to reception and she is there briefly before leaving loudly. By now, my ear is bleeding profusely too, for all to see. The manager asks me if I want the police and I say no and try to clean up my ear. She messages me saying sorry and wants to come back to me. I don't want her here again after that commotion. I still love her though, that's the problem, and the emotions. She wants to talk later, so I meet her nearby. We talk, she says sorry, I have had enough by now. We go to see a movie and she is all sweet again. We talk on the beach and I discuss what she is doing to me is very wrong. And again, she lies and denies. I looked at her and at that point I know there is no hope, so I just turn and walk away. She messages with threats of leaving me, etc. She will F another guy, tells me that she loves me, and lastly says if I don't see her tonight she will leave me for good. Now by now, I really don't care and I want my peace back. I turned off my phone and I haven't heard anything since. I assume she is either gambling or freelancing now and that there is no money from me and she realizes that I have had enough. She constantly talks about money, calls me and other people a cheap Charlie. Meanwhile, she has never bought me a beer or anything else. She also said that if I was with her in the future, I have to buy her a new motorbike. She asked me to pay 16,000 baht to get some of her gold back, instead of me paying her daily. And of course I denied the request. Now all her friends are also scamming bar girls too, or close to the industry. They are always comparing sponsors, boyfriends, etc. and they all think that they're aligned with gold, and foreigners are only here in Thailand to take care. She seems to have no interests besides bars, effing, sleeping and eating. No hobbies, no interests in getting a real job. It's all just about getting money from foreign men in order to take care of her. She constantly uses the word F, constantly accuses me of being with other ladies, which I don't do. Says, "You F with other lady, etc." Says to me she gives me F, no pay, no F. You get the picture. Anyway, total gutter trash talk in my opinion. It really seems to me that her mouth, punani, and bum are merely tools of their trade and ceased to be her private parts a long time ago. I would really hate to see some of the guys that she has had aerobics with in the past and the things she has let them do to her for money. She seems so far gone in many ways. Now, there is actually lots more, but I think I have painted the picture. So yes, although I am educated, have a good career, am cashed up, and she certainly didn't screw me financially at all or get the long-term plan I am sure she hoped for in the end, I consider myself a complete fool for putting up with this crazy girl and all the emotional turmoil she brought into my life. Or even more so, that I let her do it. Now at times, she was wonderful and a good girlfriend. But when she was bad on a level I have never ever seen before, and the lies, manipulations and head games were astounding. Now in no way am I saying that all bar girls are bad, but this one has to be a solid example of what they are capable of, and why not to get involved with a character such as the girl that I did. Thanks Dan, and take care. Right guys, what a crazy story, and oh so familiar. When you're working in that industry and you've been in it a while and you're surrounded by other like-minded women, you do end up thinking the same as them. It is all about money. Foreigners are just customers, and it's your job to love bomb them and get as much out of them as possible. If they're not giving you a lot of money each and every day, then you've got to try to make up stories in order to get large amounts of out of them. However, the ideal play for these women is to get a guy that's got loads of money, to take care of them properly, to give them 20,000 baht to 100,000 baht per month, build a house for them, take care of them, create a business for them, give them their own independence and freedom also, because they don't like to be tied down. Once a bar girl, normally always a bar girl, and they like to have fun, they like to get attention, and they still like to mess around because it's what they've been doing for a long time. It really does mess them up here, and it really does mess with them here. So yeah, do stay away. They can be quite bipolar and they can be very narcissistic, but like this guy said, not all are the same. It's just the women that have really got into the mix and have been doing it for a while, they do tend to get ruthless with us foreigners. So be careful, and you've been warned. Let us know what you think about this story down below in the comments. Oh, and one last thing. This guy stayed with this woman for the same reason why so many guys stayed with these types of women, is because these bipolar, narcissistic, crazy women are awesome in the bedroom. And that's why so many guys seem to persevere with them. But guys, it really ain't worth it. Keep hunting, try to find a good girl that's also great at aerobics. Now, if you've got your own story that you want to share on the channel, get your emails sent in to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com and we will share your story on the channel. But guys, do not make a bar girl, a freelancer, or a massage girl your girlfriend. Come on guys, just come. If you want to have fun with these types of women, have fun, but then get away. The 3-day rule, the 24-hour rule, the 2-hour rule, stick to them. Ciao for now, and bye-bye.